what I will say about Agatha, despite her being bizarre in this universe for me to see, because I'm thinking of Agatha being, you know, previously tied to the Fantastic Four, being this mentor, even sort of this quasi daughter of Agatha, which we are not getting that at all. We're getting an Agatha that seems to be the same damn age, at least in appearance. Maybe that should be something that changed and is just being treated like a traditional villain. But this is one thing that the Marvel Universe is proving yet again, and why I cannot let them make it when it comes to tokenization and even some of the bizarre changes that they have with their universe. This is my problem. Because now I've seen so many posts, videos, just people admiring Agatha, or rather the actress in her portrayal. I'm not against that by any means. Say what you will. She's doing a decent job. But the trip is, they just took a character that virtually, the people that the Marvel Cinematic Universe appeals to, you have to be reminded of this. It's not me. Okay? It's not me. They're not appealing to me. They're not attempting to appeal to me. They're not appealing to people that read books. Okay? That's not who they're appealing to. They're appealing to folks that just like superhero film, like superhero TV shows, family friendly. Like, that's who they're appealing. It's not me. They're not appealing to me. Okay? So most people that watch this stuff, anything that they know about these shows is some shit that they Googled like 10 minutes after there was announcement, after they maybe, again, watch an episode maybe of WandaVision, and then all of a sudden they become experts. They don't own books. Like, none of these exist. They don't have big fucking stacks of these. They don't know what a long box is. Don't know what a short box is. We've gone through this. But what the Marvel Universe just showed you, Marvel Cinematic Universe showed you yet again, that they can take a character that none of y'all have ever heard of, Agatha Harkness. Almost nobody knew who the fuck that character was unless you were familiar with the book. And they took a character that virtually nobody knew that they are attempting to appeal to, and they made him likable. So with that being said, okay, which they did it again. This isn't the first time that they do it. A lot of characters that a lot of people that, again, because the appeal isn't to me, is just fucking bizarre. Not bizarre. It's appeal to normies. Let's just call it what it is. If they can do that, well, shit, what's the point of, why do we get so many tokenizations, or why is the Marvel Cinematic Universe going in a direction, definitely when you see with the Eternals casting, or with a Black Valkyrie, which doesn't make any fucking sense considering that this all supposed to come from, let's say, Norse mythology, right? So black Asgardians make as much sense as white Wakandans. Nonetheless, that's what you got. And you got white. Oh yeah, Hemda as well. Yeah, he's fucking, which I believe he's supposed to be the whitest of the white, right? And he's literally black, played by Idris Elba. And I know you love that guy to death, but it doesn't make sense that he's Hemda. Anyway, so they bring these characters in that some of you guys never heard of. They make them likable and whatnot. It goes to show that they do not need, which is the excuse a lot of folks make. Well, if they try to take an original black character or original character, then people won't like them. So they have to tokenize them because, original characters that people are familiar with. Okay, well, what just happened with Agatha? Y'all didn't know who the fuck Agatha was until now. Like, Agatha was virtually unknown prior to her showing up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in WandaVision to a normie. Virtually unknown. The connection that she had to Scarlet Witch, virtually unknown. Maybe hopefully we get I don't know if they're going to go the Fantastic Four route, which is again when we first saw her. That is unfamiliar to them. They just know about her now, and they may became experts because they Googled it and shit. They ain't read the book in their life, but they go get it. That's fine, whatever. But if they can do that, why can't they bring in original characters? Why do I have to accept them tokenizing certain characters? If they can just bring a character out of thin air that you never heard of and then make you like them. And now all of a sudden, there are now stand accounts, of course, on Agatha. If you follow Twitter and stuff, here we are. They're shooting themselves in the foot because they're making the arguments for me. The tokenizations are absolutely purposeful, right? they are doing that to be, again, they're directly doing it. Is it, oh, maybe they were the best person for the job? No, that's not what happened. No, that's not how it works in Hollywood. You get a casting, they say, hey, we want you to look like this. They going out their way to do that. Now, I already knew that. It was just y'all crackhead asses that would sit here and tweet at me or be in my comment section sitting here telling me that, oh, well, you talk about all this tokenization. Maybe this person was just the best person for the job. No, not a thing. Not a thing at all. That's just a purposeful thing that they are attempting to do. The tokenization is something that they want to do. And then the other people who say, well, they take those original characters and change them. These characters have long been long-standing. It's hard. People won't support new characters, blah, blah, blah. The Marvel Cinematic Universe shows you that these normies will eat up virtually everything. And this is why when it's such a deviation from the comic books. So it's 2 points I want to make here. What this does show is that complete deviation from the books make no sense, as well as tokenization and race changes, gender sexuality changes of certain characters makes no sense for the sake that you feel like they have to do that because they wouldn't stick otherwise is nonsense. You're seeing what Agatha proves that in itself. They took a character that you had never heard of, made them likable, and now everybody, like people that are talking about WandaVision, people that are keeping up with the WandaVision, are now becoming familiar with the character, and now they like her, though despite never hearing about them. But also going to show that these are normies that we're dealing with. The main signal, right, rather, is that characters are supposed to, I don't know, you guys use the term representation, diversity, and all of this, and what have you. Okay, whatever. Those are stupid concepts. I've done a million videos on. I'm just not going to bore you to death with it right now. But to think that they can't take an original black character and make them prominent is utter horse crap. To deviate so far from the comic books, which what we've seen for some of these characters, is also needless because these guys will eat up anything you give them. Like I've said before, I was talking about this years ago. They could make the like much like DC sort of does with some of their animated films, where the animated films basically like Flashpoint, based or like verbatim what happened in the books. Okay, they could replicate that, and the fans would still eat it up. It's new to them anyway. They have never seen this. They are not familiar with this material, aside from something that they may Google on the spot, but they are not familiar with the material. So the only reason this exists is because, again, it's purposeful. Maybe there's a situation where you get all these creatives in this space that feel as if they have to leave their imprint on it. So they have to make all of these changes and whatnot. And of course, you got the social preferences and the social views in which, you know, God forbid you actually came up with an original black character. No, you have to take a character that's been traditionally white and then change them because reasons. But if they didn't do that, they would still eat this stuff up. You guys understand that? And Agatha proves that exact point. They took a character you didn't know, brought them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now people love them. They could do that with original black characters instead of, I don't know, race changing the ones that have already existed and we already have mountains of source material on. And the second thing, like I mentioned, that it shows is that if they wanted to make a direct adaptation of a comic book, not just showing love to it, a direct adaptation, these people would still eat it up because it's new to them either way. And even if it wasn't new to them, who cares?